Howdy, hello, true art believers, and welcome to the #1 live art streamer in the world. This is Pierson here, and it is Cactus Week. We're on day 100 of 200 days of drawing. I know it's a little bit. I don't know what I was going to say here. I don't know. I don't have the prompt. I'm just kind of like, what's it? What you call it? What you call it? Like improvising. I'm doing a very bad job at improvising, that's for sure. So anyways, it's Cactus Week, day 104. I'm going to try my best to explain the process, and I got a few new tricks that I want to talk about that I had to go search in regards to the previous drawing session because I was having a little bit of trouble and I needed to do a little bit of Wikipediaing or Googling or whatever you call it, DuckDuckGoing, and did some searching. So here we go. Let's begin the drawing process. I'm going to open the screen here, and before that, we're actually going to do the intro. Boom. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. I just want to say thank you for watching. So what we have here is going to press this little button here because I like to time lapse my videos because apparently I can't time lapse this and then put it on TikTok at the same time. So we're doing this kind of multi-platform type of thing going on here. So I've learned a few tricks. Yesterday I was having a little bit. Another thing, I also timed myself. This is a 30-minute drawing. A 30-minute drawing. So I learned a few things. So yesterday I was, oh yeah, here's another thing. There we go. There we go. I was struggling, just struggling, trying to figure out a way to center my objects onto my layers or onto the image here. So right now I'm just basically doing using the marquee tool. I think it's the marquee tool. I don't know. It's a selection tool. And then we're just filling that up with like a blue here. Probably light. Well, that's it. We're going to do that. And we're going to deselect, press Control D to deselect the layer. Now I'm going to press V and then I'm going to hit the, what's this tool again? The rectangular marquee tool again, and I'm going to select the entire image here. So now that the whole thing's selected, I'm going to go to Layer. I believe it's Arrange. No, Align Layer. There we go. I'm going to go to Layer, Align Layers to Selection. So we're going to align we're going to center it vertically, and then we're going to go to Layer again. Align layers to selection, and we're going to center horizontally. So it kind of made it a little bit, we centered that whole image, and then we're going to press, what's deselect? I think it's, nope. Control D is deselect. That is. All right. So now I'm going to, I have that layer set. Now I'm going to lock it. I'm not going to use this layer anymore. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go to a layer that I coined outline. And the outline is going to be the, it's just going to be the, it's pretty much what you think it is. It's going to be the outline, really. It's not going to be a fancy, anything's fancy. I have way too many brushes here. So what I do is I actually pre-draw out the image ahead of time, right? So I pre-draw out the image ahead of time so that I have an idea of what I'm going to draw. So I actually have the drawing right here, right? I have the drawing right here, see? And some other stuff that's on there. I have the drawing right there, and I use that to get an idea of what I'm going to draw. So it's going to be quicker. So we're going to use this. We're going to draw the outline really quick. How much time I have? 27 minutes. We're making good time here, folks. We're making good time. That's what we're doing, making good time. Okay. I'll draw it out really quick. Just another thing. There we go. Just messing with something. There we go. So what happens is when I exit out of the Photoshop, it doesn't recognize, my stylus doesn't recognize that that's still on Photoshop, so I have to do like the eraser tool to kind of reset it. Okay, it's a really quick sketch. I'm not going to overly invest on the sketch here because the sketch is just, it is what it is. It's not a fancy, it's not really meant to be, I'm not trying to overly use it, right? It's just a simple sketch that I use from a photo reference with a little bit of artistic license, right? So this is going to be like the standard cactus. I'm going to have it like two cacti, just kind of hanging out, doing their cactus thing here. Doing a cactus thing. That's what they do. They just kind of hang out. They're dry. They're in a dry setting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of do something like this to kind of get a gauge for like lines. And I'll use that as a reference point for when I begin the colors. Just as a reference point. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to basically make a pot, a little pot for this thing to be on. Let's give it a pot. Maybe nope. Just give it a just a standard little pot here. Right, we're giving it a pot for the cactus to kind of hang out, because cactus has got to have a pot to kind of hang out in. They're not in the desert. We're not doing a solo cactus in the desert. And then we're gonna, just do this. Again, this is, I'm not trying to be overly detailed because a lot of this is going to get lost because I'm trying to do a drawing in 30 minutes. So now what I have is I have the rough drawing here. I'm going to use the marquee tool, select the thing, select the layer, and we're going to align it. We're going to center it. Actually, one more thing. Before I do that, I want to transform it. So I want to make it a little bit larger. So we're going to make it larger. We're going to do something like this. There we go. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. There we go. I think that's good. And then we're going to use the marquee tool, select the whole thing like this. And then we're going to go back and do the whole shebang where we're centering the layer. So I'm just going to go to layer again and align layers to selection. I'm going to center horizontally, boom. And that's what I've been trying to do for a while now. I didn't know how to do it. I was like, I need to learn how to align these things. Now we're going to go in the background. So we're going to go in the background, and this time we're going to use I think I used yellow last time. I don't know. I might use we'll use this color. I overly use this. Now, exit out of the dry brushes. Now I'm going to go to a different selection of brushes, which is just very simple. It's going to be a hard edge brush that's semi-transparent. And so something like that. I like bright colors. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to maybe make a large swathing motion here, just at like this weird abstract form, right? And that's what I'm going to do. Now, by the way, if you're wondering where I came up with this idea for cactuses, this isn't my idea. This is based upon a tutorial that I looked up, or that I paid for. Essentially, I'm paying for this course, and they showed me how to use this texture brush, or in the tutorial it showed you how to use the texture brush. And in order to get my actual reps in to really become adept at this, I decided that I'm going to do the drawing, this first week of drawing, using this technique. Right now, in the exercise, they actually gave you the cactus to kind of color over, right? So I'm just and the difference is I'm making my own cactus drawings. So I'm using the same methodology just with my own drawings this time. So not a boo boo. Right. So what I'm doing is I take my mouse or take my stylus here and I press down and then I press shift and then I move my stylus down at an angle and it makes a sharp cut like that. So that's what I'm doing here. So if you're wondering like, how does this person make a straight line? I'm pressing shift and there you go, straight line. Press with my stylus right here, press shift, straight line. Press with my stylus right here, press shift, straight line. There we go, or close to a straight line. And why is it doing that? I'm not getting the straight line that I want. Close enough. So now we have that. Now what we got to do is we got to color the pot. And the pot is, we're just going to go with what I've been doing as of lately, which is just like the earthy, what do you call it? Just earthy tones, right? Little earthy tones right here. And maybe I might do something a little bit different for the inside of the pot. Maybe, actually, we're going to do another layer for the inside of the pot, like a yellow, just like a little yellow. Now we're going to zoom in real quick right here, okay? So I'm going to zoom in. What I want to do is I want to erase this, or I'm going to try to erase it. I'm not trying to be overly accurate. There we go. Now on the pot, let's erase. Shift. There we go. Shift. Let's kind of do a quick little clean around. Now I will go over this later on to kind of clean it up, but I'm not really looking for like a hyper accurate rendering here. So now we're going to work on the cactus, do a simple little color to get green here, get a green tone, and just kind of like get a green tone here and go. There we go. Just a little simple little green tone. And then we erase the remainder. It's really simple little process. I like this. The thing about like doing these tutorials that you find online, my gosh, do they know how to simplify the process? You know, me, I'm always like, I'm overthinking, right? I'm overanalyzing the situation. How much time do I have? I have 18 minutes. We're making good time, fellas. So like, whoops. I'm always overthinking, overanalyzing, and making it like a mountain out of a molehill here. So I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to go get the eraser and use the hard edge as an eraser. And we're just going to go through these areas kind of casually. I'm not going to be too accurate. I will adjust them. I will clear them up a little bit after the fact. I'll look at what they look like without the lines. And if I decide that I need to introduce those tones later on, I will. So it's being very, very loose at this point because I can always clear, add more, or remove things that need to be removed, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just erasing with the hard edge, which leaves kind of like a transparent mark here. I need some music. That's for sure. So as you see, just fun little cactus time. All right, now I'm going to fill in these areas that I removed. Back out. And now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the outlines and see what's kind of jagged. So everything's kind of jagged here. Look at this jaggedness. So we're just going to go over it and smooth out those areas a little bit more. Now, if I had a cleaner outline to work from, I wouldn't have kind of like this jaggedness. But in order to kind of have the drawing move quicker, I'm just basing it off a slight sketch here. So as you can see, just kind of rounding out some areas that I feel that need to be a little bit more defined and not like this kind of like this rough edged cactus, right? Just smoothing out some of these areas. Boom. Now the same goes for the pots. We're gonna do, or this layer, we're just gonna brush. We're gonna take this tone, just kind of clean up these areas a little bit, make them feel a little bit smoother. I don't mind the pot actually being angular like that, so I might leave the pot looking like that because it's kind of interesting. And now, again, we got our tones. We're looking good. We're looking solid, right? And with time to spare. This is what I like. I'm going to start looking up some exercises that I can do in a 30-minute time frame where I can actually get like a full sketch to drawing done in 30 minutes while I'm talking to you, which is going to be challenging. So what I'm going to do is put the tones here. Now I'm going to press Control Alt. Let's take that thing off there. N to make a new layer, and then press Alt. I'm going to merge these layers here so that when I actually we're going to do the background first. Control Alt N, and we're going to take this tone, and we're going to merge the background, make this brush big. I'm going to do something like maybe you want to move the tone up to here, and we'll do something like this. So we're just kind of blending this in, using a soft round brush this time to kind of make it a little bit more softer, so you don't have those edges showing there. And then right here, I'm gonna do like I like doing the hard edge. Yeah, so we'll leave it like that. Now we're just gonna go and we're gonna work on the pot here, and I'm gonna use this texture brush that I have here. It's not mine, I didn't make it. Sorry, I'm not that cool. And we're just gonna go. We're gonna go at it. We're gonna go at it, and we're just gonna do we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna try to make this look cool. We'll see. I struggle with the making the pot look cool. There we go. Something like that. I think what happened last time is when I was doing this, I tried a little too hard. All right. Now we need to work on this area. Let's do something like this little and we're going to just be overly simplistic with it. Make a what appears to be like the top of the pot, but make it kind of like a pixelated version of it, you know? And perhaps I could do the same here as I can make it seem like this is the pot's got like a cast shadow. That's a little too dark. Like a little cast shadow underneath it. I don't want to like overly invest. Not dark enough. Overly invest in it, but I think that'd be something to kind of play around with. So we got, something like that will be fun. Very simple. And maybe take this tone and do a little line right here. And then right here, we're going to zoom up and do this line right here. Do a little like, there we go. They add a little bit of color. Maybe even do a brighter one right here. Just add a little bit of color and maybe do a little bit of one right here. Again, all right. So now we have that done. All right, how much time we have? 9 minutes. Oh, I'm pushing it. I went a little bit elaborate with this one, and I started talking a little bit more. So now we're going to get with this tone right here, add another layer, and just kind of go simple with it. We're going to go really simple. Just let's go down right here, make like pretend like it's gravel or something. Ooh, that's not what you want to happen. So it's gonna do something like that. Maybe do something even darker. And then maybe around here you can something like that. Look at that. It's pretty nice. Very simple little texture. Done with that. Let's go to Cactus. Press Control Alt Shift in, layer for another layer, and maybe another one for good measure. And what I'm going to do this time is we're going to use we're going to zoom out actually. Apparently, we're going to use I closed everything. We're going to use an airbrush. No, not airbrush, but a soft round brush, which is kind of like an airbrush. We're just going to simply put the tones here and like the soft like tonage. Without that, we need to link the layer first. Right? Give it a little roundness. And then what you do is you get this tone, and we're going to make this into this right side darker. And I'll maybe make this other cactus even darker under. Right? And then we're just going to go from here. We're going to do on the second layer, we're going to move into texture. And I think we'll be getting close to having a pretty nice drawing in 7 minutes. I have 7 minutes to work on this. I think I can do it. So again, I'm going to start looking up like tutorials that will allow me the ability to do simple drawings like this in a small amount of time. And hopefully I'll add new things that I've learned along the way. All right. So I'm going to use the lines here that I've drawn here as a guide, okay, on how I'm going to manipulate my textures. So we have those lines here. And I'm going to use them as a guide to kind of manipulate the texture here. Maybe go a little bit smaller down right here. And then like do something like that. and go even smaller on this side. So I know that there's just very quickly kind of draw it out. I'm not like expecting it to be pretty. Now, still using the guide, I'm going to go dark, go even darker on some of this area, and then we're going to kind of go on top. Maybe shrink down the brush here. Again, just using the those lines as a guide. I can always add them back in. So I'm still learning how to use this brush more successfully. So it's still a challenge for me to kind of figure out the right way to utilize the brush. It has a unique kind of like texture profile. And so I'm still practicing with it. Just having fun with it. Probably should be a little bit more not loose, but there we go. So we have an idea. Now we're going to take the outline out. So I have an idea of where those lines are at. I don't know how much I'm going to show them. Or whether or not they should be dark. We'll see. How much time do I have? I have 3 minutes. I'm running behind on this one. Perhaps I got a little too elaborate. I probably should have stuck with something a little bit more simple. You know, happens to the best of us. Maybe. All right. Let's see how this kind of looks. I'm trying to play around with So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to play it around with the tones and give it the impression of like form without really defining those forms. So I'm really still trying to learn this texture tool. My knee-jerk response is to like show more outlines. I really like contour lines, probably to a fault. And so like I just want to do it, but I'm trying to fight the urge to do a contour line. You know, like I want to express a form with a line. Like right here, I just had to, you know, just had to express some form with a line a little bit. I think, and it's not even like a line; it's more like a textury mess, right? Okay, now I'm just playing around. Now let's do a little bit of I'm going to use the background tone. So that's time, but I'm going to keep finish. I want to put the I'm almost done. I'm almost done. We're just going to add a little bit of pink here on the cactus to kind of unify the tone that's on the background, that triangular shape. So I want to do a little bit of that there. Especially on like the highlights as well, do a little bit of that. Just to kind of make it more unified visually. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do one more layer, and we're gonna add little bitty thorns. I'm running behind, but that's fine. I gotta select the brush that I want to use. And we're gonna just get like a dark green, and we're just gonna go to town. All right, just gonna go to town on the brush, the thorns here. I want to make them a little smaller than that. Ooh, those are too big, too small. We're gonna zoom out. I'm just gonna kind of go to town on the thorns here. Just kind of place them wherever. Probably should have not used the green color here, but that's fine. We're just gonna use it. Why not? Maybe next time I'll use like a black color for thorns. But I think the green ones works okay. Maybe what if there could be a time where I decide that I want to use like what if I want to use like white quails, like white thorns, like the ones that you see in the desert in some of these cactuses, or cacti. All right, just a little simple little thorns here. I don't know how many I'm going to put. I'm just kind of putting some here and there. It's kind of arbitrary. Since I'm kind of running out of time, or I am out of time, I'm probably not going to like get overly invested on the placement of these thorns, which could very well be a very easy thing to like occur. Like you could get really used to, you can overanalyze where you're putting these thorns. So I'm just going to sprinkle them on here. Very simple little strategy. So next week, I don't know what I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I got to look up some I got to look up some tutorials that will allow me to create a drawing in a short amount of time, such as like this. And even better if they have like free brushes, and I can just use that to experiment with. So as you can see, I'm going to zoom out. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and we're going to sign the bottom. I'm going to zoom in the bottom here. Let's go P21, and it is day 104. So we're going to put 104. One of these days, my zeros are going to be better. Out of 200. Very sweet. Zoom out. We're going to zoom out again. And so that is it, friends. That is it. I learned a few things today. You know, I learned how to center my layers, and I'm getting a little bit more abstract, being a little bit more loose, and not concerning myself with these details. And I'm being more abstract. So like this coffee pot, I didn't spend, or the cactus pot, I didn't spend near as much time as I did on the other one. And this one actually looks a little bit better. It's not, you know, a perfect cylinder. It's not meant to be, because like I don't have the time. Well, I do have the time, but I don't have the time to kind of invest on a perfect cylinder for a 30-minute drawing, right? So I hope you enjoy this drawing process. I got to turn this thing off. I'm going to go like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn this off. I'm going to move this to the side here, right? So that is it for the day. Thought about palm trees. You know what? I think I could actually do palm trees. I think given this technique, I probably could do palm trees. So maybe that might be a good thing to do. I was actually thinking about like, what would be a good segue into cactuses or cacti, and I thought, well, maybe I could do trees. I think that could be a good segue. I think I can make the branches and the leaves abstract enough that it feels like a good segue into this. And then I thought maybe I could do rocks or like cliffscapes or something that allowed me to keep pursuing this texture technique, and allowed something that would allow me to make just a fun little simple little drawing in 30 minutes, right? And that way I'm not having to bring it continued over to the next day. So that's what I'm probably going to do. Don't know. That's a good suggestion. I think since you said palm trees, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do trees. Trees might be the next thing, and so I might have a few palm trees in there. Thank you for the suggestion. Anyways, that's it for today. I got to get going. I hope you have a wonderful day. That is it. I'm going to remove this from the screen. You are watching the #1 live art streamer, not live streamer in the world. I'm not Mr. Beast, or who else is there that's #1 live art streamer or live streamer? I think Pokimane is one. I don't know. I have no clue. This is Pierson here. I hope you have a wonderful day. I gotta get going. It's about 9 minutes past my live stream capabilities or time frame, and I really do appreciate you. And I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna be drawing next week. Probably palm trees / trees. So, without further ado, cheers and goodbye.